The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TV1 News. I'm Marisila Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Later. I'll join you later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, the triple planetary crisis we face, Briones wins PNG Open, and Eagles declared minor premiers. Papua New Guinea is the host of the 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum Conference. The three-day conference commenced this morning and will conclude Wednesday, 21st August. This is theme in light of the triple planetary crisis we are facing in the Asia-Pacific region. The conference theme is Regional Challenges, Regional Solutions, Global Outcomes, using mediation to resolve environment and climate change disputes. The conference theme has been chosen to enable meaningful exchange of information and ideas by expert speakers, facilitators, and conference attendees. The conference speakers include leading judges, scholars, and experts from all over the world, including from Europe, the Americas, and the Pacific Rim, and will focus on both the science of climate change and approaches to managing, transforming, or resolving associated conflicts.
This week we'll be rekindling friendships, making new ones, and perhaps together we'll be answering some of the questions that my 8-year-old self posed to me in Lay all of those years ago. And indeed, with the carefully curated topics and the esteemed speakers, I think you'll find yourself enriched through this week's experience. In addition to the hard yards that are going to be done within these walls, please don't forget to stop, look, and enjoy all that this part of our country has to offer.
Unprecedented climate change, environmental and resource challenges, and related national and international disputes must be promptly identified and addressed through a sound environmental rule of law program to prevent the destruction of the world and its inhabitants. Mediation and other forms of dispute resolution, in addition to judicial processes, are being increasingly used to expeditiously resolve these kinds of disputes.
The Asia-Pacific region, while being the most vulnerable to this crisis, it is also the greatest contributor of these problems. As this crisis escalates, so does the likelihood of disputes. The triple planetary crisis related cases need to be dealt with promptly, most effectively, and in a cost-effective manner. Unfortunately, our courts are already overburdened with serious backlog cases. Good news is some courts and other dispute resolution processes have begun adopting creative approaches, most significantly mediation.
Highlighting the significance of the APMF and its objective to facilitate the exchange and development of knowledge, values and skills of mediation and other conflict transformation processes in any form, this morning was President of the APMF, Dale Bagshaw.
Teaching Western models of mediation, which didn't necessarily work because they didn't take into account the differences between our cultures. So what we've attempted to do in the book is look at how you could blend the best of your cultural experiences with the best of what Western models bring you and come up with a form of mediation which suits your particular country and culture.
Minister for Justice and Attorney General Pilar Niningi acknowledged the national government's support for the sector.
Over the next 3 days, we encourage you to utilize the opportunity to continuing dialogue continue to collaborate to face emerging challenges and work on solutions through the use of mediation and alternative dispute resolutions.
Over these 3 days, the conference will provide opportunities for experts in mediation to offer advanced mediation skills training to Papua New Guinea and other mediators, as well as for Papua New Guinea mediators to hold their first national mediation conference. Prime Minister James Marape, in delivering the keynote address to the 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum Conference, said amidst Papua New Guinea's many weaknesses as a nation that will be celebrating 49 years of independence come September, the country has never failed to uphold its democratic principles, a feat the Prime Minister commended the judiciary for.
General.
Prime Minister James Marape highlighted to the attendees of the 10th Asia-Pacific Mediation Forum Conference that this year marks the 50th anniversary of the existence of the National and Supreme Courts of Papua New Guinea.
And in the last 49 years, we'll be celebrating 49 years of sovereignty as a democratic nation this year. We have not failed in the midst of many of our own weaknesses we carry. We have never failed to uphold principle of living as one democracy amidst our diversity, one people, one nation, one country thus far. And our judiciary has played a very, very strong role in anchoring our diversity into one sovereignty thus far, 49 years on. And I want to step back and pay respect to those who've led in the judicial space, past and up till today. Thank you very much, our judiciary.
Prime Minister Marape spoke on the threat of the impact climate change has on the region.
Climate change being the recent most emerging threat amidst us, and combination of population demand on the environment and areas where they live in. It calls for these discussions to emerge amongst those of you who are arbitrators, those of you who are judges, those of you who have the responsibility of God in ensuring that settlement is dispensed to humankind.
The Prime Minister further underscored the significance of mediation in dispensing justice.
Mediation has a place, and I want to stand here up front on behalf of Minister Ninigi and all of us in Cabinet and the Executive Government to advise our colleagues in the judiciary that we are reforming and assisting in reforming our judiciary. For those of you who come in, our court now is being restructured. We're now putting into place in between National Court and our Supreme Court. We're putting the appeals court inside. We're also resourcing the magistrate courts better.
Prime Minister Marape concluded by assuring the judiciary of the national government's support to ensure the carriage of justice throughout the country.
And I want to also propose that the mediation space is there for us. Community-based mediation as well as the formal-based mediation must be embraced, and I look forward to listening to an outcome of this sort of conversations and recommendations from our judiciary as to how best we can entrench mediation amongst us as a faculty of dispute resolutions.
The supply of disaster relief food vouchers to affected communities in Eastern Highlands Province ended recently in the Obura-Wan Inara district. Provincial Disaster Director Danny Benjamin and his team of volunteers distributed relief supplies to all 8 districts. The 500,000 government relief funding was converted into food vouchers and distributed to households. Benjamin said the funding is not enough to assist every person impacted. His office thought it better to give out food vouchers to purchase essential items only.
The distribution of food vouchers in the Eastern Highlands Province began in Daulo District and ended in Obura-Wan Inara District recently.
And now I'm ending the relief assistance after 4 weeks, and I have supplied assistance to Oburo-Wana district, Tarora Gachup LLG, 4 villages, in Kainantu district, 2 villages, in Okapa East LLG, one village. I have managed to supply the relief assistance today and ended the program.
Provincial Disaster Director Danny Benjamin said Eastern Highlands was hit badly with a number of natural disasters in March this year. Henganofi district was the worst hit with flooding, especially Afinofi village in Kafetina LLG along the main Highlands Highway. There, 4 people were swept away by the flooded Afinofi River. Benjamin said only last week they were able to deliver food vouchers to Afinofi village. Government relief funds of 500,000 kina was late, that the Provincial Disaster Office responded very late also to its affected people.
I had to do relevant arrangement to access those funds that were put into hardwares and wholesales in Goroka, which I did, and I would also like to thank Care International, my partner in humanitarian works, had come on board and assisted me with voucher food and NFI vouchers. So I developed those vouchers and rolled them out.
Benjamin is appealing to all 8 members of Parliament for Eastern Highlands and the provincial government to get more support out to their people.
Although it was quite late, they have recovered, but people were still struggling, especially those where their homes were affected, and also those their food gardens and SME activities were also affected.
Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
In a recent meeting held at WOW, small-scale mining training center to address issues surrounding small-scale miners in Morbe province, the Mineral Resources Authority was challenged to boost manpower at WOW's MRA office and look into mining leases. Morbe Goldfield Small-Scale Miners Association President Banze Zimanga told MRA that there was a lack of manpower at MRA's WOW office to service their miners. He appealed to recruit additional mine development engineers and geologists to be based at the agency's WOW office so that their miners could be adequately serviced. Meantime, WOW Warrior MP Marsh Narawe has urged the MRA to convert old mining leases to new ones so that the new leases are aligned with the Mining Act 1992.
Small-scale mining brands was without a development engineer for almost a year now. We also need a safety officer present on site to keep track on safety compliance for all alluvial mining operations, especially the mechanized operations.
MRA come inside, never take him this responsibility. Lo convert him all get a mining list, all mining list here. Now come now must align one time mining Act 1992. So the time lo review lo mining come, and you all get a license but stop in line.
Prime Minister James Marape has acknowledged the decision of Gulf Provincial MP Sir Chris Haiveta to leave the government and join the opposition, affirming Sir Chris's right to make independent decisions. The Prime Minister in a statement said every leader is entitled to his or her own opinion and decisions.
The announcement of the provincial member for Gulf, Sir Chris Haiveta, to join the opposition has been acknowledged by the Prime Minister James Marape, who has said he has no issue with the move from government to opposition. The Prime Minister, when expressing his respect for Sir Chris's extensive experience in Papua New Guinea politics, including the last 5 years, said with Sir Chris in his government, they tried to manage the economy in very trying circumstances. The Prime Minister has urged Sir Chris to be forthright about his reasons for joining the opposition amid the current political environment. He emphasized that Sir Chris, along with other leaders, has the constitutional freedom to change political affiliations. Sir Chris on Sunday announced his move to join the opposition, saying the decision.
You might think that corporate conglomerates are behind this, foreign governments are behind this, and accusations of any businesses, and even the opposition, because there might be a pending vote of no confidence. My decision is not based on that. My decision is based on my principles to do the right thing by the law for this country. You have many scandals that are outstanding in government. You have appointments that don't follow procedures. The commander of PNGDF, his appointment does not follow process. Secretary for Works, his appointment has not followed process. And you have many others in which trends of regionalism and of tribalism show.
Was not politically motivated.
This is TVWAN News. We'll have more stories after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young plan alapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Welcome back. Police Transport Director Chris Smith delivered 10 brand new motorbikes to the Police Traffic Division. He said this was a part of the ongoing program that the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary has embarked on to replace the aging fleet and cutting down on hired vehicles. He said the constabulary aims to bring in a second batch of 10 bikes next year. Smith added that the 10 bikes will also be part of the police operations during the Pope's visit early September. 12 cyclists have been selected from the Traffic Division to undergo a week-long training that will be conducted by 2 Australian Federal Police officers who flew in from Canberra. They will train the cyclists how to use the new bikes and provide other refresher techniques and formations to apply when escorting VIPs. PNG's former prominent woman in politics, Dame Carol Kidu, today opened the Tutu Beach Community Learning and Development Center at her residence, Tutu Beach Retreat in Tarama. The learning facility is affiliated with the Dame Carol Kidu Early Learning Center, the Seburi Kidu Library, Ginigoada Workshop and Activities Center, and the flexible open and distance education, which will see the upgrading of students' academic performance.
The opening of the Tutu Beach Community Learning and Development Center was an iconic moment for the surrounding communities, as they are now fortunate to have access to an early childhood center, food program and a well-refurbished library spearheaded by Lady Carol Kidu, who is passionate about delivering basic educational assistance to remote and marginalized communities. With a heart to see young people continue their studies reaching higher educational levels, she decided to establish the project. Minister for Foreign Affairs and member for Mosby South, Justin Chachenko, who was one of the numerous sponsors of the educational project, during his remarks, called on parents to play their part in educating their children to ease the learning process when they are enrolled into school.
This resource center, training center for both and early learning is an example of what can be achieved when we all work together as one in partnership.
Lady Kidu, along with MP Chachenko, officiated the opening by cutting off the ribbon to the 4-in-1 Tutu Beach Community Learning and Development Center, witnessed by esteemed dignitaries.
And I officially open this building, which will educate our people and secure our future generation. Tibet? Hooray!
President of Tutu Siale Women's Association, Molly Hahai, was grateful for Lady Kidu's input into the educational sector, which will have a long-lasting impact on the students who wish to further their education and achieve their goals.
She has worked tremendously very hard for this opening. She's put so much into this learning center, the library. She's gone out of her way, asked for sponsors and asked for partnership to come into this learning center to run programs and development programs for the Motukweta people here.
With a great number of generous sponsors, Tutu Beach Community and Learning Development Center is in partnership with the Kokoda Trek Foundation, Cancer Society, Marie Stopes, Total Papua LNG, Guinea Guada Foundation, Kiema Foundation, Tutu Siale Women's Association and the Business and Professional Women's Club. Roland Dennis, TV1 News.
Medan Town Mayor Peter Yalsi and District Administrator Albert Ului have taken the initiative to work with the Ministry of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs to implement outstanding infrastructure for Medan District. Under the education sector, Yalsi, as caretaker chairman of the Medan District Development Authority, presented a dummy check of 250,000 kina to Holy Spirit Primary School. The funding will go towards the construction of a 4-in-1 classroom as the school prepares to take in its first lot of grade 9 students in 2025.
Holy Spirit Primary School in Medan District is preparing to welcome its first batch of grade 9s next year as the school readies to implement the government's 166 education restructure program as a junior high school. Headmaster Francis Arigini was presented with a dummy check of 250,000 kina, signifying the start of a 4-in-1 double classroom project for the grade 9 intakes. Medan Town Mayor Peter Yalsi and District Administrator Albert Ului, in partnership with the Ministry of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, were able to secure this government funding as Medan District continues to go on without a parliamentary representative. Mr. Arigini said many schools have been challenged with implementing the 166 restructure program but lack the capacity and funding to do so. Holy Spirit Primary is a pioneer school in Medan Province established in 1953. Today it educates more than 2,000 students. Efforts to secure more funding for more infrastructure and resources will continue as they transit into junior high status in 2025.
Today, this morning, we are privileged to be given an opportunity to continue our plans for our developments. The education system has changed and we are in 166 now, meaning that by now we should have grade 9 and 10 in Holy Spirit. We struggled 22, 23, in 2024, thanks to be God, that we are sin and we are given an opportunity for infrastructure.
Representing the School Board of Management, Christopher Tomogo said the school has done several fundraising initiatives but did not succeed. The 250,000 kina funding brings a huge sigh of relief.
School here, and we've been stuck long but through. And number one school have been stuck here. That's all look at one but look so long infrastructure. So if we can look at them, all money got hot, all giving, all money got hot, all not giving. So Holy Spirit now, we look grade 9 long next year.
Mayor Yalsi was happy that the status of a long-standing institution is being upgraded.
So me looking at the request that Mr. was and this line privilege na hona lo Wambla school inside lo Medeng Heben LLG Maskisim High School. So by 2026, you've got this logo that Sumatin, you don't have more working grade 8 exam. You don't have more working grade 10 exam. You have to go straight law secondary school grade 12 law working exam.
Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The Medan Town Mayor shared that the Medan District Development Authority has not been operational for the past 6 years and he felt the district was missing out on services. With the support of the District Administrator Albert Ului, both men are stepping in where they can to close some of the gaps in service delivery for the people of Medan District. The funding support to Holy Spirit Primary School was possible because the Ministry of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs had given its blessing. The fishing industry only makes 20% of total catches in Papua New Guinea waters. The 80% is taken away by international licensed operators to their countries to process and sell. For nearly 50 years now, the country does not have a domestication policy in place to prevent international fishing industries from taking catches out, says Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru.
Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, in a recent visit to Medang, had informed the people of Medang about this serious issue which has been robbing the country of billions of dollars and has affected the progress of the Pacific Marine Industrial Zone project.
Because law PNG right now, no stopping online lokam na kisim license, kisi piece na karen go back to place. No policy, no law. And people are mistaken the country 50 years now. We must talk on the talk straight Lomanang.
Minister Maru said PNG lacked a non-domestication policy and has been trying to ensure the country comes up with one. As an example, fishing company Frabel, a joint venture between Frabel and Thai Union, had to close off business because supply was not meeting demand as most of the catches were being taken overseas. This cannery had to close down, laying off more than 3,000 employees.
All this company only come to solo kissing fish. I'm hunting ground all there. You pop a ground, you will give me English grant or call it license fee. That's all. Some employee all come sim, all current go back to place all creating work lo hub, all processing, all adding value, now all salim. Also through fish lo place long. So first as well, you may know that policy of domestication a law.
Minister Maru was vocal in saying that the government of the day is just a rental collector, whilst industries are making billions out of the licenses issued in their country, providing jobs and expanding business in their own country. This has to change, stated by the minister. Also adding to the fact that the PMIZ project does not have the expertise and capacity to get it started. Maru says as a countering measure, the government is now working on signing a 50% agreement with RD Tuna Canners and piggybacking their resources and facilities to kickstart the PMIZ project.
Narbla company by not giving fish to you. All currently under current law and policy, all the right local place. The law has not changed, the policy has not changed. So PMIZ has to be the start of a change of direction for the first time.
Since the government is not in a position to implement the domestication policy sooner, the joint venture between RD Tuna Canners will enable locals to participate in learning commercial fishing and compete with other international fishing industries to bring back fish for processing. Minister Maru stated that it is in the government's interest to have PMIZ up and running, as it could have a massive impact in the country's economy. Roland Dennis, TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2574 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kaukina was buying $0.2499, $0.3717 Australian dollars, $0.2190 euro, and 36.61 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher except copra, crude oil, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. We'll be back with more after these short messages.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency, and quietness. Designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort, and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride. The bus that exceeds all expectation.
All Mama Flame is story all same.
Me save you seen flame flower long one yem. Me save me Kim Kai Kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me save like in flower balls belong me what them cover war na spring onion. All pikinini belong me save like him to mas pineapple donut me save walk him low house. Me make kumu mix him on them cow na karamapim long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is scaling one time wala harpela kai kai. Me save kissing more kai kai long all get a toya me tromoy one time flame flower.
You enough making more one time flame flower.
Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 Kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 Kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Thanks for staying with us. In news abroad, the Palestinian militant group Hamas has rejected the latest proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza, saying it was biased towards Israel. The group had been considering a bridging proposal but put forward by the United States, Egypt, and Qatar after talks between mediators and Israeli officials last week. Hamas officials did not attend but were briefed on the talks. Now the group says the proposal includes new conditions but put forward by Israel that it cannot accept. For many Australian kids, problems with language and literacy do not show up until they start learning to read. But an innovative screening tool developed in the UK can be used on children under 5 to identify language disorders early. It has been trialled at schools across Tasmania with the hope that early intervention will lead to very different literacy outcomes.
These kinder kids have big plans for the future.
I want to be a policeman, a basketballer, Spider-Man. I think I want to be Batman.
They're just starting out on their educational journey.
I like reading.
But before they really get into learning letters, they're being screened to see whether they may be at risk of reading difficulties.
This is a grey cat.
This is a grey cat.
You did it! I think you're clever.
The Grammar and Phonology Screen, or GAPS, is being trialled at schools in Tasmania. Children are asked to repeat simple sentences and made-up words.
Diffrimple.
It helps identify any issues with language.
It's non-confrontational, it's so easy and so relaxed, it's just lovely.
1 in 14 children have a developmental language disorder, which is a difficulty understanding and using language. It can't be identified just by hearing a child speak, but this screening tool can pick it up.
It's raising those red flags really early. It's a really big marker for their future literacy because literacy completely depends on language ability.
If an issue is identified, parents, teachers and sometimes speech pathologists can work with a child to expand vocabulary and language.
For example, when we're getting dinner ready and we're sitting eating dinner, it can be as simple as looking at the vegetables and talking about them and bringing in words like crunchy and juicy.
I think it's great for parents so they can get on top of the problem, and good for the child as well, basically so they don't feel behind.
I'm very happy that they're doing it at this age because I struggled a lot in school.
Tackling literacy issues early means opening the door to future opportunities.
Should I go and play now?
In the red soil of the top end, a new industry is emerging, cotton, examining the conflicts of interest that some say will lead to the destruction of some of the Northern Territory's most famous tourism destinations.
They are the lifeblood of the Northern Territory. The big rivers, wild and free-flowing. Fed by pristine springs and a network of ancient groundwater.
Look at this place. It's deadly fishing, swimming. The tourists love it.
Beneath the red dirt lies a vast water resource. And here in the top end, it's free. Developers are circling.
It's absolutely a water grab.
They're fighting for water from the top and down to the desert.
I think it comes back to this political imperative for development. And I hate to say it, perhaps development at any cost.
The red carpet is being rolled out for a new industry. Cotton. It's a lucrative crop with a troubled history.
We are not the Murray-Darling Basin. I think there is a sense that cotton is a dirty word.
Now growers are eyeing off water, but access to it in the NT has been mired in secret deals and cosy relationships.
This created really a dysfunctional arrangement. I had to ask, what hat are you wearing today?
They should negotiate first before they started doing cotton here.
The government is shutting down independent science.
We're really at risk of establishing some kind of fake science war.
Have you been told personally by department officials to keep quiet?
Yes.
And what's at stake goes well beyond politics.
Without those flows, they dry up. Look, it could be catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic.
What is life? Without it, we'll all perish.
As cities across Australia grow, so does the amount of light they create, making the night sky harder to see. Researchers at the Australian National University have been experimenting with ways to reduce light pollution. In an Australian first, thousands of streetlights have been dimmed at certain times in Canberra.
As daylight fades, humans create a kind of man-made daytime using streetlights, which are usually simply on or off. But modern technology means lighting can be smart, connected and adjustable on a huge scale.
For about a 6-month period, we were able to utilise around 30,000 streetlights around Canberra.
Researchers can now adjust the capital's lighting from a laptop.
To essentially control its intensity, its schedule, its programming, its on and off.
Scientists at the ANU turn Canberra's lights down from 100% to 70% and even 50% brightness, changes imperceptible to the human eye.
We've had engineers and other street lighting practitioners who've had 30+ years experience. They were unable to distinguish between 70% and 100%.
Dimming Canberra's lights for 6 months saved 1,000 tonnes of carbon emissions, while the reduction in light emissions was also measured.
So for every 10% the lights are dimmed, it's about a 5% change in the glow of the sky. So when we dim all the way to about 50%, that means the sky has been reduced by about 25% in terms of brightness.
A darker night sky means a brighter celestial glow.
So we'll see more stars, we'll see the fainter stars will be a bit brighter, the brighter stars will get even brighter, and some new stars pop out that were previously lost.
Canberra's streetlight experiment is an Australian first. About a third of the capital streetlights now have this technology. Less light, illuminating the skies.
Looking up, trying to see a meteor shower, trying to spot the aurora. If we slowly erode that part of humanity, we slowly erode part of humanity.
A bright, dark future.
And that ends the news segment. We'll have sports after the break with Rex.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
These 2 are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bum, bum.
Back in '69, Frank Hutchison started a journey when he met Bill King, who ran a remote travel business. King needed 4-wheel drive parts so strong, so reliable, they'd make the return trip after enduring the rigours of the Aussie outback. This forged Terrain Tamer's beginnings. Over 50 years later, Frank and his team continue to innovate and create parts strong enough to survive the toughest terrains on the planet. And best of all, the customer is still king. Terrain Tamer, parts that will get you home.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Welcome back. William Bryce walked away with 36,000 Australian dollars and a trophy after winning the 2024 PNG Open at the Port Moresby Royal Golf Club yesterday. It was a great achievement for the second-time Australian golfer, who also has a significant tie with PNG through his grandfather, who was born in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province. From more than 100 golfers participated in a four-day PNG Open 2024 at the Royal Port Moresby Golf Club. The finals on Sunday came down to the remaining three golfers, James Conran, Andrew Campbell, and the eventual winner, William Bryce. The three went toe-to-toe in the first 10 holes, with Campbell poking the nose ahead in the lead. But the clubs took a different turn for Bryce for the remaining 8 holes. Bryce finished at the 18th hole at 17 under par, holding off the runner-up Conran by 2 shots. Campbell finished third at 14 under.
It was more of a mental improvement. I physically have been working a bit more out in the gym, but mentally on the course I'm a little bit more solid. I've been going stride to stride even with bad shots, and that was the difference this year, for sure.
The victory marked Bryce's first PNG Open title. He had previously participated in the PNG Open before, but has never made it. This year's event was huge for him when he made comparisons to how he went in the tournament last year. The win was even more memorable to him, given that his grandfather was born in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province, and was buried in the country. He said that winning his first PNG Open title on the course that his grandfather had won before was special to him.
100% it does. My dad was sending me pictures of all the trophies my grandpa had won here, and leading into the event, it just kind of felt more special to me.
My granddad's buried here in PNG. My dad was born here. I've got deep family ties, so it's great to be home.
This was the first tour win for Bryce for the year. The win also grants him a ticket for future PGA tours. The SP PNG Hunters' demolishing win over the young Brisbane Tigers outfit, 46 points to 24 in Port Moresby on Sunday, has secured them the 5th placing on the QRL Host Plus Cup competition ladder. To close off the Sunday's footy action of the Host Plus Cup competition, the SP PNG Hunters raced away to a 46-24 win over the Brisbane Tigers on home turf in Port Moresby to move into 5th on the ladder, setting the stage for a thrilling weekend in round 23. The Falcons remain in 4th heading into next weekend, with the Hunters right behind them. Both are on 28 points apiece, separated by 4 and against. The final 4 of this year's Host Plus Cup is yet to be determined after the South Logan Magpies caused an upset over the Sunshine Coast Falcons in round 22. The Burleigh Bears 6th and Wynnum Manly Seagulls 7th are also within strike distance of the top 4, pending results from the final regular round. The Hunters put on a brave performance, led by Captain Ila Alu, with super performance yet again displayed by hooker Judah Rimbu and fullback Sani Wabo, who both crossed over for a double on the day. On Saturday, 24th August, in round 23, the Hunters meet 15th place Western Clydesdales in what is expected to be an easy win for the Hunters at the National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. The final 4 of this year's Host Plus Cup are yet to be determined after the South Logan Magpies caused an upset over the Sunshine Coast Falcons in round 22. A win at Davis Park on Sunday would have ultimately secured the Falcons their place in this year's top 4, heading into the final round 23 of the regular season next week.
The Falcons remain in 4th heading into this weekend, with the Hunters right behind. The two sides are both on 28 points and are separated only by 4 and against. PNG Hunters' dream of playing finals footy again is certainly becoming a reality after Sunday's high-scoring win over the 2023 Q Cup premiers Tigers. From the match stats, both Wabo and Rimbu earned doubles, with Solowane Ila Alu, Brendan Nima and Finley Glare also crossed. Tigers half Riley Jack bagged a late double to bring the scoreline closer, but it was too little, too late for the reigning premiers.
I'm pretty happy until the last 20 minutes, but yeah, very happy with the boys, very proud of them. A lot of hard work went into this season, and it was really good to get a win at home.
And it's always pleasing to finish strong. I have a bit of a motto around finishing strong, so we wanted to do that. We know that the crowd loves that as well, as long as we don't beat the Hunters. But yeah, you can hear the crowd in the background. They love the boys coming up here, and that last 15 minutes is about us just enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying the last 15 minutes.
Outside of the Hunters, the Burleigh Bears also loom as one potential team to move into top 4 pending next week's results. The Lookbird coach team will be desperate for the 2 points, having not won since June. The Bears face a major challenge, though, set to play host Northern Pride on Saturday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Wampanoag Mount Hagen Eagles are the minor premiers of the 2024 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup season. They were presented the Perpetual Dawn Folks Shield after finishing off their campaign on a winning note, trashing the Kimber Cutters 42 points to 8 in Minge on Saturday. On a sad note, a missed conversion has denied the Gas Resources Central Dabaris to draw with KMHL Angamiox to secure the 6th spot.
2008 was the first time the Western Highlands franchise made it to the grand final when they lost to Mendi Muruks 1914. Eagles made the semi-final again 8 years later in 2016. Unfortunately, did not advance to the preliminary final after they were suspended for bringing the game into disrepute. After serving a 2-year suspension, the Eagles returned in 2019, but has been a struggle to attract good players and rebuild their playing stock. The return of Western Highlands' prodigal son and Eagles product Francis Ray this year was the missing piece of the puzzle. After his 2-year stint with the Gurias, Ray returned with an open mind and different approach for the Eagles. Part of the strategy was scouting marquee players with Western Highlands heritage to restore pride for their province, which is paying off. After the regular season, the Eagles have accumulated 26 points from an impressive 12 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses to claim the minor premiership. Meanwhile, week 1 of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup kicks off this weekend, featuring the final top 6 finalists. Eagles on 26, Miox on 25, Gurias on 24, Tigers on 23, Muruks on 21 and Wigman on 19. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Lace Next Tigers women have moved up to the top of the Santos Cup, national women's competition ladder, ahead of Central Dabaris, who suffered their first loss on Saturday at the hands of Port Moresby Vipers 16 points to 12. Tigers beat East New Britain Gurias 16 points to 6 in Ley on Sunday, pushing them ahead with 2 rounds of matches remaining before the final top 4 teams are decided. In the other round 3 matches result, Goroka Lahanis picked up their second win over Mount Hagen Eagles in close finish 12 points to 10. At the end of round 3, the Santos Cup point table sees Tigers first with 5 points, Dabari second with 4 points, and Lahanis on third place with 3 points. Points table, 2 rounds are remaining before the top 4 playoffs on third week of the men's preliminary finals on weekend of September 7th and 8th. Both men's and women's grand final are scheduled for September 15th, 2024 at the Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby. The 2024 Port Moresby Moni Plus AFL Premier Competition Grand Final showdown between Gereka Bombers and Gereu Magpies ended in a 70-all draw, resulting in both teams being declared dual premiers. The tightly contested affair was played in true grand final spirit, with good sportsmanship displayed, which ended peacefully with the official presentation of grand final trophy to the 2 winning captains.
Black and white Magpies of Gerhu started on a flyer, taking an early lead in the opening quarter, 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points, before Gereka fought their way back to level things up in the second quarter. The intent and physicality of the encounter took its toll when Magpies captain Norman Ausapa left the field with a concussion. Magpies, however, stuck to their guns and hit the lead once more In the third quarter, both teams did everything to win the match, but again goals were at a premium as both teams stepped up their defense in the last quarter, eventually ending the final in a draw. In the A-Reserve Grand Final, minor premiers TSL Lamana Dockers could not hold back the faster and more determined University Tigers in a thriller. Tigers won 39, Dockers 38. Former AFL President Douglas Lai commended all the grand finalists in both divisions for an evenly contested and entertaining afternoon of AFL that kept the crowd on their toes. Lai said the final results are evident of the close encounters by worthy grand finalists. The president was impressed with the Bombers and Magpies game, which was played at a fast pace and with high intensity by two great football sides. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Over 2,000 lay residents gathered at the Lay Showground to support their family members as they took part in the Rosso mountain bike race over the weekend. It was indeed Lay's biggest family event, as both young and old paid £1 kina entry fee towards hundreds of riders display their skills and stamina. Saturday, August 17th, saw enthusiast riders from ages 7 to 13 cycle out of the showground, out to Milford Haven Road, then back into the showground as the crowd cheered them on. On Sunday, August 18th, the heats of age 16 to 18 male and female riders commenced as they cycled out of the showground through to the Botanical Garden and around Ranwara. The adult women had only one heat, while the males have 13 heats. Heats 1 to 8 were done on Sunday, with 9 to 13 expected to commence on Saturday, August 24th in the morning. A different colored wristband will be used on Saturday, while the price remains at £1 kina. Queensland Cricket has confirmed no test matches will be held at the Gabba in 2026 and 2027 due to the state government's decision to abandon the venue's redevelopment.
Well, this has certainly been quite a controversial topic here in Queensland. Now, the Gabba redevelopment plan was only really announced by the Palaszczuk government ahead of the Olympics that are set to be hosted right here in Brisbane in 2032. But earlier this year, the Miles government came in and abandoned that plan, citing major cost blowouts, and instead opted to fund a number of venues across the city, including the Brisbane showgrounds for major sporting codes like Queensland Cricket and the AFL. But this has certainly come as quite a blow to Queensland Cricket. They've said that no test matches will be held post the 2026-2027 season, and it does follow yesterday's afternoon when Cricket Australia unveiled their allocation for the men's international cricket hosting rights, which is for the next 7 seasons. Now, that only includes the Gabba for the next 2 years, and they say that that's largely due to the fact that there's still a lot of uncertainty around the development, and they say that they are in ongoing talks with the association about the future of cricket here in Queensland. But this will be the first time in nearly 50 years that no test match is held at a Brisbane stadium. So in response, Queensland Cricket penned an open letter in which they said that the Gabba, they've become quite disappointed that the Gabba has become another casualty of the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Olympic infrastructure. They've also said that other major stadiums in other states have now become more commercially attractive and fan-friendly over the Gabba, and they've called on leaders here in the state as we head closer to the state election to become more bold in their decision making and to make sure they plan for long-term decisions as well in terms of sport. Now, certainly this is no doubt going to raise more questions over the future of cricket here in Queensland.
That's all we have in sports. Maricela.
Thank you, Rex. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern, Port Moresby, mostly fine, partly cloudy with chances of few afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, mostly fine with brief afternoon showers. Kerama, mostly cloudy with chances of brief night showers and possible thunderstorm. Alotau, partly cloudy with chances of intermittent afternoon showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with some afternoon showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase, Lay, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medan, partly cloudy. Wewak, mostly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Vanimo cloudy with some rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with occasional rain showers. Kavieng partly cloudy with some afternoon rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo Rabaul cloudy periods with few afternoon showers and possible thunderstorm. Kimbe partly cloudy with some afternoon showers and Buka cloudy with some afternoon showers. And Highlands, Mount Hagen mostly cloudy with some rain showers. Goroka Bands and Kundiawa cloudy with some rain showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg cloudy with some rain showers with possible thunderstorm. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with east to southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 33 knots at times. Solomon Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 to 30 knots along eastern sector. Bismarck Sea, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth with northeast to east winds of 5 to 10 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerama, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samari Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Samari Island to Cape Bogle and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, increasing at times to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchafen, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Whittier Strait to CSA Long Islands and West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 3 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Medan to Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, increasing to 2.5 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And waters of New Ireland to East New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And that ends the news tonight. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank